Hi, I'm Jody Daly, and this is Let's Talk, where consumers like all of us talk about what matters. So here's the weird thing. We are all obsessed with health. We eat low fat, no fat, Mediterranean, paleo. We've got apps and trackers, you name it, we can check it. And with all of that, America is more unhealthy than it's ever been. Well, today we're going to meet some people who know the secrets of getting healthy and staying that way. So don't go away.
Supermarkets can get pretty confusing nowadays. So many aisles, so many products. How can you save time and money when you shop? Get into the habit of buying your store's store brands. You get the same quality as national brands and save at the cash register. No apps, no coupons, just money in your pocket. Give them a try and smile your way through the supermarket.
We're all obsessed with not being obese, but are we becoming fanatical about trying to be healthy? And I use the word trying because if you look around, a lot of us just aren't. Well, joining me is Courtney Rada, who actually eats for a living for a food show called Carnivorous. Hi, Courtney, how are you?
I'm good, how are you?
Good, thank you. Then we have Mike Daggett, AKA Fat Dag, and you got healthy after a real aha moment that we're going to be hearing about a little bit later, right?
Right.
And Ina Toppler, and you are a clinical nutritionist,
Yep.
and we've had you on the show before, and thank you so much for your insights and
course.
perspectives. And we're going to be getting all of your perspectives, but first I want to start with Courtney. Courtney, you eat for a living.
I do.
Carnivorous.
Yes, so it's mostly, obviously, carnivorous, meat-centric,
Right.
meat-heavy dishes.
Okay, and you go around the country, so you're always on the road.
Right. I found that regulating what I eat in between takes, in between, filming sessions
Right.
has helped a lot. I've learned how to work out and do specific exercises with personal trainers that don't really require a gym or don't really require equipment. So regulating exercise and
Do you do apps? Do you do like Aptive or any of the apps or things like that? Or is it pretty much you in your hotel room with using body weight?
it's pretty much, me in my hotel room using my body and working out when I can in between filming. When I'm not filming and I'm in town where I live, I'll meet with a personal trainer who specializes in, body exercises, things that you can do to stay fit.
So honest engine right here.
Yeah, honest.
So how's it been going for the last year? And any size change at all, or?
No, it's mostly working to stay consistent with
Okay.
myself.
So Mike, before we get started with you, I actually want everybody, guys, take a look over here. This is Mike before in the striped shirt, and this is Mike now we have the picture, but we also have you right here.
Wow.
So,
Whoa, even better in person.
Yeah.
So now
Amazing.
were you on the road like Courtney? Is this what happened to you?
Yeah, I'm a military recruiter for a long time, and so that's long days, long hours, drive-throughs after leaving high school, and I was never making the right choice, and it just got completely out of control.
Now you said that you had to lose weight and get fit because you almost lost your job.
That's exactly right. So the Air Force had had enough of me. I was having a hard time passing my fitness test, and for like 2.5 years, I actually didn't take it, and that caught up to me. And they said, "Hey, it's time for you to go." And they
Hold
were
on, how did you get away with not taking a fitness test? You were in the Air Force, you
Yes.
said?
So I just didn't take it. And so the stress, the turmoil, and trying to hide in an office didn't work. And so internally, I beat myself up for 2 years, but I wasn't able to take it because I was completely out of shape. I couldn't move. And so I just kind of ignored it. And finally, I said, no, I have to actually do this. And so I started working to get myself healthy. And at the same time, all that caught up with me and said, it's time for you to go. And they were processing my discharge. And it would have been
Excuse me? They were kicking you out?
They were kicking me out. Yep, there was a complete, I would have been completely done. No pension, no retirement, no thanks, goodbye. And luckily, I had already started taking care of myself initially. So then from there to ramp it up was a little more significant.
So we were talking earlier, and Mike said that basically they say, what is it, start running fatty
start
or
running fatty.
something?
Yeah, that's their answer. And a lot of our, we think that is the answer to just eat less and work out more, which is a recipe, but it's not the true answer.
So what was your true answer? And actually, what was your aha moment that really made you kick into gear?
So I ended up losing the weight and passing the fitness test. And so I'd done that many times. And so what happened was there was one time in particular, I got done taking my fitness test, and I walked into my office, and I made a lunch that morning like I did every day. And normally I would leave the fitness test and go eat lunch somewhere. And I said, no, I actually want the orange. It actually tastes better than anything else I could have.
So let me go back. So you were on a, quote, diet, unquote.
I was eating healthier.
You were eating healthier, and then you took the fitness test and you figured, I'll go back to pizza.
Normally, right.
Right, okay.
Right. And so this particular time, I got done taking the test, and I didn't want wings. So I didn't want them, and I said, no, I actually want the orange. It tastes so good. And so I ate it, and that was kind of that aha moment. And the next day, as I started going I was only midway through my journey at that point, but I'd saved my career. And so that was the point where, okay, the danger is gone, go back to the old way. And I said, wait, I don't want that life anymore. I want to be fit and healthy forever.
Ina's over here nodding. Is this a story that you hear a lot in your clinical practice of being a nutritionist?
I do, and I think what's really so important about what you're saying is that attitude shift. You know, it's like, yes, you can do stuff and you can get results, but it's about actually making a lifestyle change and doing it because you're seeing the difference, but you also are feeling better and you want to continue that for yourself, not because you're trying to hit this one goal or keep your job or win a race, but because you actually want to do this to make your life better. And I mean, I think that's really a huge key.
I see so many people, that is exactly right, is that if you're trying to lose weight for a wedding or lose weight for a special event, when that event comes and goes, you go back to your old ways. So
Or at the event.
Or at the event, right? Yeah.
I'm going to have cake.
Right, right.
Sure.
And the truth is you have to get to that event and then go, no, my life is different and better because of this event. At the event, I want to continue and celebrate that moving forward.
Now, your life is eating on the road, and you said between things. What choices do you make between things?
I will cut back on bread or specific things that I know won't really alter my lifestyle completely, because I find that when I end up craving something so bad, you get that moment of weakness where you're just like, well, and you throw in the towel and then you have 10 brownies when you could have just had that one cookie because you were really craving a cookie. And instead of just like throwing it in the towel.
That's like totally psychological. How do you deal with that with your clients? With those cravings and saying, you know, do you give in? Do you not give in?
Well, I think it depends on how you started and where you're going. So I think that it's all about balance. And I think initially it is important to have a plan and stick to the plan. And I always tell people that you want to think of it more as making a promise to yourself. So, you know, we make promises to everyone else all the time and we keep that. But we don't keep promises to ourselves, unfortunately. And so if you say that, okay, I'm going to do this plan and I'm going to focus on this to hit, you know, this goal, and you know, we're going to make a promise to do that. And when you actually either you write it down or even you just tell yourself or tell a friend, I'm making a promise to myself that I'm going to follow this, then that helps. And I also tell people you could put in a little consequence. A coach of mine actually taught me that. So, and the consequence doesn't have to be anything that is going to hurt you, but, you know, it will kind of ding you or play with your vices a little bit. So
I think that's a really good thought to put in. And when we come back, we're actually going to talk about one of the absolute biggest deterrents from any kind of success with any program. And Ina's going to address it when we come back, so don't go away.
Supermarkets can get pretty confusing nowadays. So many aisles, so many products. How can you save time and money when you shop? Get into the habit of buying your store's store brands. You get the same quality as national brands and save at the cash register. No apps, no coupons, just money in your pocket. Give them a try and smile your way through the supermarket.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, we're talking about whether we've become too obsessed with fitness and food in an attempt to become healthier. And I say an attempt because a lot of us just aren't. But Ina, we were talking earlier about things that get in the way. And you were saying sometimes you need a consequence if you're on a program. But you and I were talking on the phone recently, and you said there's one big factor, and that's stress that gets in the way. Talk to us about that.
absolutely. So when it comes to stress, and we all have stress, right? You know, from deadlines to family to money to, you know, anything. But what a lot of people also don't realize is that there's physical stress as well. So if we're eating foods that may not be good for us, or if we have certain infections or diseases. And so what happens with all of that is that stress raises your cortisol level. And cortisol is, it basically makes everything in your body work backwards. That's probably the easiest way to explain that.
So your metabolism goes down, your muscles aren't functioning as well.
Your digestion slows down, your immune system goes way to the back burner, because the way our body sees stress is kind of like back in the day if we were in a jungle being chased by a tiger. So all of those things are not important because we need to either fight the tiger or run away.
So what are the biggest stress factors that would, say, go into derailing Courtney on the road or derailing Mike keeping his program?
So I think that a lot
of that... Or me even getting on one. So then there's that. Just thought I'd throw that in.
So I think what it comes down to is that once you have a plan and you stick to the plan and you get results, that's wonderful. But at the same time, people then start to adhere to it so much that there is a fear that happens that if I get off my plan, or if I eat something that maybe is not 100% okay, that something horrible is going to happen.
Like Courtney was saying, I should have just had the one cookie instead of having the 10 brownies that are the backup. Courtney, do you find that that stress plays into decisions or decisions you're not making on the road?
Absolutely. I mean, in between filming, I can have a regimen where I'm cutting down on bread or starches or things like that, cutting down on alcohol intake, things to remain healthy. And then when I start filming and I'm required to eat like a loaded grilled cheese or something like that, I'll be like, well.
Okay, now I'm so that's all I'm picturing in my
Yeah.
mind is a loaded grilled cheese sandwich.
Me too, still thinking about it. But then I'm like, well, it's all downhill from here. I might as well end my night with a few beers and then be
So
off.
do people do that? Just throw in the towel? as you say?
Absolutely, all the time.
How do you not throw in the towel?
So then what you want to do is you want to remember that every plan has a balance. And so whether you're required to do something for your job or you may have a craving and you allow yourself to have that cheat meal, so to speak, whether it's once a week or twice a week. And I tell everyone to just come up with whatever the percentage is for them, whether it's 80-20, 90-10, 70-30, and then know that, okay, I had my cheat meal or I had something that was required, but then you get back on track. And I think the most important thing to remember is that if you get derailed once, you can get back on track. However, if you get derailed and then think, well, I'm throwing in the towel, then you're derailed twice, 3 times, 4 times, you're not going to end up in a good place.
Mike, is that what brought you back from yo-yo dieting? Was that balance or not letting stress get to you?
Right, and it's very stressful, right? You knowing you're going to lose your job, it was intense stress, and so I went a little extreme. I lost, I think, for me, I lost too much weight, and then I found this concept of balance, and that's changed my life because now I understand that I can do a great job at home, I can do a great job at work, I can do a great job in my fitness, and I can also do a great job in my eating, but I have to kind of pick which one is the priority for the day. And I figure out today is I'm going to work on my family, and that means we may eat something different. But tomorrow I'm going to work on my eating, and that means the gym may suffer. And then later on I balance that all out. And so it really.
Well, you look like you're balanced.
I'm
I'd
happy.
say balance is really right there.
Thank you. I'm completely, and that's the point. So mentally, I'm in the best place of my life, and that's where I think it really turned for me.
And you're spreading the word too. Tell
Absolutely, I
us
am.
very quickly about your 501c3.
So I have a 501c3. It's called Operation Fat Dag, and the primary mission is to make sure military members like myself don't struggle alone. I realized I had no help in this. I'd asked for help many times, didn't get it. So I said I want to be that voice to help other people.
Yeah, because you don't want other people just hearing, go run fatty.
Go run, yeah,
or
go run, eat
something.
less.
Yeah,
It doesn't work.
exactly. Now, Courtney, where do you think you're going to be when you're sitting here 10 years from now and you have like 3 shows on television? Are you going to still fit in those pants?
I absolutely will. I hope that I will. I hope that, I have all the I feel as though I have all these tools to remember to not stress eat, and I can keep a routine without feeling like I need to be derailed every time I take a bite of something.
Okay, and Ina, do you have one last little nugget you'd like to leave with our panel or our audience?
I would say one more thing about stress, since we were just talking about that, is, I know we were talking about balance, and when you really have a craving and you want something, I always tell people it's good to just have it, enjoy it, and really do it in a way where you're just really enjoying that food rather than eating out of fear, because that's another element of stress. And if you eat something out of fear, it's going to affect you much more negatively than if you eat it out of delight and joy and enjoyment.
So eat the cookie or the piece of cake. Don't eat the box of cookies
Of course,
and the entire
exactly.
cake.
Yeah, eat the cookie, really taste it, chew it, enjoy it, and kind of give yourself that permission that this is your cheat and you're going to eat it, versus eating that cookie and saying, oh my God, why did I do it? Well, you know what, I already did it. Let me eat another. Oh, now I feel terrible. Because then what happens is...
Wait, were you at home with me last night? I'm listening to this, I'm saying.
But just really quick, what happens then is if you eat something and you feel bad about it, then you actually then think that you are a good person because you feel remorse, right?
Oh.
And then that makes you feel better, and then you do it again. You're like, well, I feel bad about it, so I must not be such a bad person because at least I feel bad.
Okay, this is a whole different show.
Right.
But we're definitely going to attack that. Courtney's scared to death right now. But no, seriously, thank you guys all for your insights. Really appreciate it. And Courtney, don't worry, I'll remind you.
Thank you, please do.
Well, Mike, thank you for being
Thank
here.
you.
And we will have your information on our website. And as always, Ina, it's such a pleasure to see you.
Thank
and for
you.
all of you at home, thank you for joining us too. For more information on what you've seen on today's show, please visit Store Brands USA, the channel here on YouTube, or go to storebrandsusa.com for shopping information, recipe ideas, and a lot more. I'm Jody Daly, and I'll see you hopefully a lot thinner next time on another edition of Let's Talk.